win this war. Oh no. Touch me now, don't bother. If every second it makes me weaker, you can save me from the man I've become. Looking back on the things I've done, I was trying to be someone. I played my part and kept you in the dark. And now let me show you the shape of my heart. I'm here with my confession. I got nothing to hide no more. I know where to start, but to show you the shape of my heart. Yeah, I'm looking back on things I've done. I never wanna play the same old part or keep you in the dark. And now let me show you the shape. Looking back on the things I've done, I was trying to be someone, trying to play my part and kept you in the dark. And now let me show you the shape of, show you the shape of my heart.
Welcome back to Private Sessions. You just heard a beautiful acoustic rendition of Backstreet Boys' Shape of My Heart off of the Boys' third and 8-time multi-platinum album, Black and Blue. Now, before we go any further, we like to surprise our guests with fans and friends. And so before we move along, take a look. Someone had a question for you.
Hey guys, hi Lynn, hi everyone at Private Sessions. Now, I have a question that I've been thinking for 15 years, and hopefully you can give me the answer. Now, when we were with Transcontinental Records and Lou Pearlman, we were always, of course, pitted against each other, and we would hear like things that y'all would say, and I'm sure that they would say things that we would say about you guys, and it was always blamed on Kevin. Now, I was wondering if you heard things that we would say about you guys, who in NSYNC was blamed for it mostly? Because I have a feeling it was me. So can you please clarify that one?
That's awesome.
That's funny.
That's actually funny that he would, because that's some inside stuff there that
That's
nobody
really
would
funny.
know.
All right, so give it to me.
Well, like you said, there was a lot of, like, you know, the media as well would try to put us up against each other and constantly say, like, oh, we heard that, you know, you guys feel this way about them, or they feel this way about you guys and stuff like that. So, but I think it's just because, you know, the nature of us being two, you know, similar groups and coming from the same camp.
Absolutely.
There was only
Who was
one
the
real
oldest
actual
member, though, in the group that I
There's
think got the...
Chris Patrick, I think, got a lot of time.
That was the only actual, like, real rivalry was between me and Chris. That was the only
that was over a girl.
Yeah, over a girl that we both dated within a 3-year period, totally
Did you
separate.
get in the fisticuffs over it? Or?
No, but like,
There was never
you know,
anything.
but now we're like, we're awesome friends. I mean, that was years ago, and we're both
But
younger,
for
and it
real
was
though,
stupid.
I mean, really think about it though. They came out of our backyard, right? So it didn't bother you whatsoever, AJ?
No, I mean,
It bothered
honestly,
me.
it didn't. When it actually bothered me was when not only was that happening, but then they got signed to our same label. That's when it was just
Well,
like,
having
oh,
the same
yoy.
label, the same manager, the same promoters, the same tours,
same everything.
the same
You know, it's a
routing.
business.
Same
So
wardrobe.
did you
You know, we
know
realize,
that they were
we
paying you
realize now
guys
that
again?
it's a business.
Exactly. Now
it's
we
nothing
look at it
personal.
differently. But then it was like, you know,
We were the
it's a
first
hard-
child.
It's a
He was
hard.
the second child. You know, you get a little bit of, like, you know, kind of jealous.
But I
Yeah,
think
you
the
went through
stuff
all
that-
the hard
I think
lessons.
the stuff that he's speaking about is all the, like, if we didn't take a show and they got the show and
Yeah.
that type of stuff
Right.
is what he's speaking about.
Yeah.
Who was the scapegoat? You know what I mean? When it came to the members, and he said that it was
That's
Kevin.
funny they put it on Kevin.
And I remember that being Kevin, and I think he's right. I think it's the
Was it
oldest
him?
member in that group. Whoever the oldest member in the group was,
That's gonna be Chris.
Is Chris.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I think it was Lance, dude.
Well, I do remember hearing sometimes back in some of the tabloid magazines that it was it was some of the stuff was being come from from Lance a couple of times.
Yeah.
And you
that's
honestly,
But-
at that time, because you said you were the first artist to come through the label, you know, was anyone there saying, listen, don't believe what we're putting in here, this is all just for, you know, the business part of it, these guys aren't really talking
No.
about you.
We
They
were
just let
so
you
new to
believe
it.
that this was...
Yeah.
We were so
would
new,
just
we didn't
read
have
about
like
it or
no
whatever.
media training or any of that kind of stuff. We just winged it. And, you know,
I'm friends with all those
Yeah.
guys. I mean,
Yeah.
I've
of
hung out
course,
with
yeah.
Chris recently. I mean,
I went to college with Chris. We were in
Chris,
choir
you know.
together. We were like from me to Brian. We sang next to each other.
Would you guys consider it a turning point or a crossroads in your career when Lou Pearlman, who was your manager and the guy that really discovered you and put you on the map, you in turn then had to turn around and sue him for withholding revenue from the group? Is this kind of something that may have changed your whole direction, or is it a wake-up call for you?
I'll never forget what happened with the situation. We were actually over in Sweden. We were recording the Millennium album, and I was the very first one to step out and file a lawsuit. I filed an open-ended lawsuit, which in turn I was hoping that everybody would jump on with me, because one guy going against the group and the head guy, you know, I had no chance. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of inside information. The statute of limitations was about to run out on the contract, so we couldn't go back.
Right, right.
And we needed to move forward. So I filed an open-ended lawsuit. The guys ended up joining on because, you know, we were the ones that were really busting our butts. We were touring all around the world. We were working very, very hard. And at the end of the day, you know, just like Nick said, it is a business. And we wanted to know that our efforts that we were putting into making us successful were, you know, we're going to pay off at the end of the day. We had done, you know, 5 or 6 sold-out shows in Europe, sold-out tours, pardon me, sold-out tours in Europe, and we had maybe $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in the bank account. And this is like,
did you
this is 2
realize
years
something
of.
was going wrong? I mean, yourselves, or was it pointed out to you? Did it make you better business people in the business at the
we
time?
used to have meetings, and he would, you know, Mr. Perlman would show us charts, and we have stock in our company and all these things, and it was, you know, it was hard to grasp because we had no representation. We didn't really know how to run a business. We were young kids, and all we wanted to do was be successful. Right. So we went with it. But I think there was a turning point where we kind of looked at each other like, wow, you know, this needs to be a little more beneficial to us. I don't think we would change anything because of the fact that we are sitting here today, and we're better, you know, we're better friends for that, and I think we're better artists.
You are, and the Backstreet Boys were, like you said, the first to come out of that management company and explode on the scene as that boy band genre in the 90s kind of took effect. And then shortly after that, bands like NSYNC, and then you had, you know, 98 Degrees and LFO and all that. Did you find that it was really tough to kind of stay on top of your game at that point?
We didn't know what we were doing. Like Howie said, we were winging it, just
Really?
going out there, learning ourselves, and then everyone else was able to follow us and kind of do what we did and capitalize off of that.
Did you know that you were blazing a trail like that at the time?
We
You
didn't
really
know.
had no
We
clue.
started to realize a little later on that we were blazing a trail, but when you're in it and you're working as hard as we did, and you're doing as many shows as we did in a year, I could say that, I mean, in our heyday we were doing like 200 shows maybe a year or something crazy like that. You know, probably more than that.
I've come to realize in the industry, the record industry, like once something's successful, every label wants to copy the same thing.
Of course.
Like you see, like there's an Ricky Martin, there's an Enrique Iglesias, there's, you know, Britney, there's also, you know, Jessica Simpson, there's, you know, Christina Aguilera. Like everybody now, I hear like the next thing is finding the next Justin Bieber.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
so it's
I
like
think they
for
already
us,
found him. He's
exactly.
12.
I'm sure there's probably 10 of them already. When you have competition, it makes you strive to work harder. And I look at it back in the past, like that made us, you know, step our game up. And that's why I think we were able to keep on constantly putting out better and better material, because we knew if not, there's these people right behind us.
All right.